COVID-19 has indeed handed us a bitter, bitter, bitter lemon. But let's make some real good lemonade. Hi there, my name is Dr. Evelyn Tawia, and I work as a frontline worker in the NHS. I am in accidents and emergency in my local hospital, what you call emergency room or casualty, and whatever you call it in whatever country you may be residing in. I am in the cold face. I see patients coming with symptoms of COVID, possible COVID, and everything in between. I just feel that I need to make this little recording to all of you out there, just to give you some other perspective of the whole issue. Now, here in the UK, this is the first weekend of the lockdown or the downtime here. Now, I know some people who've actually been working from home maybe a week or two before the lockdown, so they may be at home for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. People have been home for a lot longer in places like Spain and Italy. I think it's happening in the US as well. So people are beginning to ask, so we're here 1 week, 2 weeks, what else are we going to do? We've watched all the Netflix that we can watch, we've watched all our videos. What is there to do? When is it going to end? When are we going to go back to work? Do we know the answers? On and on and on and on. Now we know that we haven't gotten to the top. We haven't peaked yet because we are way behind Italy and Spain. So we know that we've got a few more weeks yet to get to the top and then begin to come down. But in all honesty, we are in uncharted waters. This is a new area. The science is not very clear as yet. So we do not know how long this is going to go on for. But one thing I want to share with yourselves is the advice that has been given. There's been a lot of advice on Facebook, finding on YouTube, Instagram, WhatsApp. People are sending things around. The government leaders are telling us what to do. The social isolation, that you stay at home. It is so important that we continue to stay at home. It is boring. There's nothing to do. A curtailment of your civil liberties. I understand all that, but we need to stay at home. When we have to go out to do the shopping or the exercise time that we've been giving, or to get the food or whatever it is, we enforce the social distancing and wash our hands and follow all the advice that we've been given. Now, this is where I begin to now give you another aspect of COVID. So whilst we've got all that information, let's stick to that. We've got enough information now, because my worry is that because of all the amount of information that's going on there, people are now so worried, so anxious, so panicked, so depressed, and all sorts of things are going to come out. And in fact, we're beginning to see some patients turning up in A&E or in hospital or calling the GPs because of all the anxiety that is beginning to give them, affects their mental health. I can see all that. I've seen all that. So what I would like to share with you briefly in this time that I've got with you is that, yes, the situation is bad. Yes, people are losing their jobs. I've got friends and family that have lost their jobs. Yes, we've got to stay home. Yes, we might not be able to pay our bills. Yes, there's so many things. We don't know how this is going to affect us globally, financially. We've got a problem that's not just an NHS problem. It's just not a health problem. It's a social problem. It's a financial problem. It affects everybody. But whilst we are in this downtime, what can we do to keep us sane, to keep us going, whilst we wait for the pandemic to turn round? And this is what I'm going to spend the rest of the time discussing. Now, most of you would have, like I said, watched the Netflix and done everything else. But what else can you do? Can you, for example, go back through your phone book or your Facebook and see a few people that you've not talked to in a while and just Facebook message them, or live chat with them, or go on Skype. Some of you can do Zoom. Just WhatsApp them and just say hello, just hi, just reconnect, and have a chat and get to know ourselves better. And let's not forget our neighbors and our aunties and our uncles and those in the care homes and all the ones that we can't visit, that we constantly Skype, Facebook, chat, even call them on the phone and see how they're getting on. We can develop this aspect of our social relationship with our family and friends and long lost schoolmates. We can resurrect all that. We can also begin to pick up new habits whilst we're at home watching Netflix and tired of Netflix. We can start looking at our personal health and fitness. We can start, just look on YouTube. I love YouTube. I'm always on YouTube. I'm a locum doctor. I travel around. I can't go to the gym, but I look on YouTube. There's plenty of exercises you can do, right from beginners to the advanced, that you can do some. You can even start with gentle dance videos or Zumba or light weights or wherever it is. And there's whole channels where you can they'll just walk you 2, 3, 4 miles in the living room, just instructing you on what to do, just to begin to pick up some, exercises and some good health and fitness habits that you can do now. You can start now. You can do it with your family as well. You can get the children together and all of you dance to the YouTube videos. You can do that. Now, I also like to talk a bit about habits. Not habits, but hobbies. Now, you might have a hobby that you've always loved, but never had, because you're busy, you've never had the time to do. This will be a good time to look at those hobbies again. Or ones that you've put to the background, the back burner, you've just not had a look. This will be the time to develop those hobbies. And I dare say, if those hobbies, you're passionate enough about them, they're good enough, you might actually even be able to make money out of those when all this is ended. So look at all those things. Find little other ways to make money. This time that, it's a downtime. It's a downtime for us, but make it count, because we don't know what's going to happen in the future, but at least you've got control of today. So you make today count. You fill your day with positive things that are going to make you improve and make you better. So forming your habits is one. Habits, okay. Your hobbies, your keep fit. Okay, and like I've said, I've talked about your hobbies. Sorry, I'll be looking down because I made some little notes to make sure I cover everything. Okay, now I am a great fan of reading books. I never used to read books before. When I finished medical school, I don't really read. But in the last few months, I've just picked up some old books and started reading them, and I've ordered some new books. I did order some before Amazon shut down, or not shut down, decided they're going to deliver essentials rather than books. So pick up some new books, or you might have some books that you've been wanting to read all the time. This is a good time to read it. And yes, get Kindle, Amazon Kindle, and download some good personal development books. And there's plenty. And if you want some, email me. I'll put my email in the description. You can email me and I can, suggest some books for you. You can actually even come to YouTube and there's plenty motivational books. You've got no idea. Just come to YouTube, download some books and just listen. Develop, download books in areas that you love. So if you wanted books on finances, if you wanted to improve your finances, now that it's a downtime, it's a time to look for books in that area. If you're unemployed and you're looking maybe at coming out of this with another career or another profession or another, I don't know what, this is a time to go to YouTube, put in a title into the search bar and just read about the subject, learn about the subject, see whether this is something you want to do, see whether indeed, whether when all this is said and done, whether you want to go back to your old way of life or your old job, or whether you want to do something different. This is the time to have a look, because there's information out there. Google it, but I'll say YouTube it first and Google it. You can find some like-minded people, whatever area you want to, on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, put in the search bar. For example, I was surprised. There's a whole group out there that wake up 5 a.m. It's a whole Facebook group, and they tell you all the sort of things they're doing 5 a.m. before everybody else wakes up, because then they can get a few things done before everybody else wakes up, and that makes them achieve a lot more in the day. So there's different groups, there's different communities that you can find on social media that would be doing the kind of things that you want, that they're saying the kind of things that you love, and that you can be part of and learn from, and then come out of this crisis a different person, a better person, a person, that you've added a bit more value to your life. So this is a downtime. This is a time to self-develop and self-improve. Okay, so I've talked about books. You can play to feel while away the time with family. Play some board games, Monopoly. I don't know. There's one particular one that I recommend, but I don't think people can buy it now on Amazon. But there's one called Cash Flow Quadrant. It's a very good board game, and I'll put some links or some of these things in the description. You can go in there and buy them. I don't think they could get delivered, but you can buy it, because all these Cash Flow Quadrant I love, because it really opens your mind. It makes you financially aware. It makes you spend your money better, and you understand? It puts you in a better financial position, because I talk a lot about finances. So these are some of the things you can do. But finally, I want to talk about a positive stance or a positive outlook towards all that is going on. Let's see coronavirus and as a bit of a big continuum. Now, we've had crisis before in different areas. People talk a lot about the Spanish flu. I wasn't around there. Most of you went around. But apparently, Spanish flu wreaked a lot of havoc. But we came through that. Now, I remember the year 2000. Some of you might remember that, especially if you're in the NHS, when they thought there was going to be a bug and the computers are going to shut down and the stock exchange was going to crash and ITU machines were going to go off. And it was a whole big panic. We came through that. Now, we remember 9/11, big panic. We came through that. Now, financial crisis 2008, most of you will remember. The world was going to come to an end. The banks were going to crash, and then we'll have no money. And the bank and the insurance companies and the car companies and government had to come and bail everybody out. We saw that come to pass. We saw bird flu come to pass. We saw the Zika virus come to pass. COVID-19 is here. It's bad. It's going to get worse, but that too will come to pass. This too shall pass. So whilst we're waiting, because we don't know when it's going to peak and when it's going to end, whilst we're waiting, this is a good time to develop some new habits. It's a good time to develop our hobbies. It's a good time to develop our relationship with our family and friends. It's a good time to have a look at our finances, especially if you've lost your job or you don't know what's going on. It's a good time to have a look at your finances. How much is coming in? How much is going out? And just to plan how much you're going to spend. This is a good time to look at all areas of our lives, because we want to come out of this better than we went in. So we've got a bitter lemon now, but how are we going to turn our bitter lemon into lemonade? So as I close my life, I throw out the challenge to you. What are we going to do now in this situation? What are we going to do each and every day? How are we going to make our day count? So every day, what are you going to do to be a little bit better than yourself? What are you going to do to improve yourself, so that when all this is said and done, you might have a new hobby, you might have developed a few habits, you might have a different perspective on life, and you'll come out the other end maybe slightly better than we got in. Now, I read a few books. I follow a few people. So I'll put some books in the description. I don't know whether you can buy them now, because like I'm saying, Amazon is not delivering too many books. But I'll put them down. When all this is said and done, they are still very good books. They're still very good resources for you to use. Because there was one study that I loved when I was nursing. I used to be a nurse before. And we did a bit of psychology, and they talked about developmental psychology. So it's a whole long continuum. We've still got our lives ahead of us, and COVID might be 6 months, a year of it. But after that, you've got your whole life ahead of you. So this is a bit of a downtime. Use it profitably, use it well, improve yourself, add value to yourself. Because when you're valuable yourself, you're able to add value to other people. And this is and together we all produce a better world. So I'm going to be finishing here. Thank you very much. Almost 15 minutes for staying with me this time. You have a good day. Let's make some lemonade, as my mentor John Maxwell will say. Bye-bye, everybody.